Welcome to Bitcoiners United. I have Angel here joining me from the Nigeria Women's Bitcoiners Group. She's going to share her thriving community dedicated to providing Bitcoin education to women across Nigeria, throughout Africa, and to the world. So through Bitcoin education, advocacy, and skill development, they are providing financial and personal empowerment for women of Nigerian descent. And as the Nigeria Women's Bitcoiners account says, it says, empowering women changes nations. So, Angel, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone also. I'm doing fantastic and I hope you are doing well too.
Yes, it's kind of morning time for me, but the sun has gone down where you
Oh,
are. So we may experience a
yes.
little delay in the audio. We've had some network challenges. We're working through that. We'll just do our best. With the magic of the
Yeah.
internet and a global community, I'm just glad we can do this at all. So this is awesome. I'm really happy to have you.
Yes.
What is describe? I haven't been to Africa. I've not been to Nigeria. Uh, Describe to
Okay.
me, and you're out and about where you can get network reception right now, so don't worry about the background
Yeah.
noise. um,
Okay.
Tell me about life where you are there. What is it like day to day?
Okay. Well, I'd say here in Nigeria, I reside in Nigeria. Um, in Nigeria, we have 36 states. So I reside in Lagos State to be precise. And life in Nigeria is, I would use the word for my own self, it's peaceful for me because
Uh-huh.
Nigeria has, or in particular, Lagos State has so many hustles and bustle. You know, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, but you don't let it get to you. You still, look above the challenges of everyday to day activity, and you still smile to it. So for me, I would say Nigeria is peaceful. It's peaceful to me. Yeah, there are challenges here and there, but we are moving through it.
Sounds awesome. I would love to visit sometime. I mean, I know it's a huge continent. Nigeria is a very large country, actually. It's the most most populous country in Africa. I had to do a little research because I hear of Nigeria and I do some research. There are 236 million people that live in Nigeria. It's the world's
Yeah, we are so
sixth
much.
most populated country. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's big cities and everything up there. Growing economy. Um, Tell us about. We can easily start with how you first learned about Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that question.
Yeah.
However, before I answer the question, while you were speaking, you said you'd love to visit Nigeria. So I'd like to use the opportunity to specially invite you to Nigeria
Yeah.
next year. We'll be having a conference, Nigeria Bitcoin Conference, and it would be amazing if you can, come down to Nigeria, experience the conference, connect with people, and see Nigeria for yourself also.
Absolutely. Would you normally have that conference in December, or you'd planned for something in December, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. That conference was meant to hold in December. However, we had to postpone it due to some hiccups we were experiencing. So we postponed it to next year. So next year, between February March, we should be expecting the 3 day conference.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing about that. I work with a company called MicroSeed here, and I'll just throw it up on the screen
Yeah.
here. My co-founders of the
Okay.
company, Daniel and Robin, had joined your group for some education here. I'm going to your Instagram account, but here is Daniel White and Robin Sayer.
Yeah.
They had given a presentation for you. You've had other guests
Yes.
join your group and provide
Yeah, we
education and
did.
talk. So you've
Yes,
been
it
reaching
was.
out to a lot of people.
Yeah, you know what we do at Nigeria Women Bitcoiners, we want the women to receive quality Bitcoin education. So because of that, um, we had to stretch ourselves. We had to make sure that we find well experienced and seasoned facilitators for the women. So whatever learning they are getting, we know they are getting a well cooked and very standard learning. So that was when we came across Daniel White and Robin Sayer, and they were very amazing persons. That particular day when they facilitated the session, it's a session that we would love to have over and over again because they spoke so well, and we learned a lot also.
That's awesome. I see you've had
Yeah.
people I know, Stacy, Paula, the Bitcoin pilot, and others. Um, you plan on continuing so you meet on a lot of Sundays. You have spaces on X, so people can join a space on X and hear you meet on a lot of Sundays, correct?
Yes, yes, we started that in September, on the 28th of September to 2025. We just decided to start hosting spaces every Sunday on X where we come together, no matter the number, because that's one of the things NWB stands for. We are more of quality over quantity. So we just
Yeah,
decided that, okay, regardless of the number, we are going to be doing this. And thankfully, with X, you can always go back and listen to a space that you missed. So we decided to host different topics every Sunday. So far, you come in, you see people talking, you are learning, you are unlearning, and you are also acting on what you have learned. And thankfully, we have been doing that for 3 months now. Our last space was last week Sunday, which was the 28th of December 2025. We had our last spaces, and it was amazing because we had to count our blessings, realizing that we had done this for 3 months straight.
yes.
It's a lot of consistency, and trust me, we faced a lot of challenges because just like you can see, sometimes we want to host the spaces, we are having issues of network reception, and sometimes our spaces get rugged, and also sometimes we host the spaces and then nobody joins. I remember I think 2 or 3 spaces we held, and it was just myself and one other person. So, but
Yeah,
we pushed against these odds because we believed, and we know, for a sure that with all we are doing, this kind of education is being spread across. We are adding to the foundation that has been laid already. So whether it is one person or two-person, whether it is 10 minutes or 30 minutes, someone goes in, listens, and learns something to kickstart or promote their Bitcoin journey.
that's awesome. And things like this start small, and you've only been around for 3 months. Uh,
Yeah.
Crypto use, Bitcoin use in Nigeria has been around for a while, but the laws and the regulation and things about that are all still developing and are a little challenged at times at the political level. But what I heard in your last spaces, it was spoke. I think you said that consistency is better than stopping. So like little drops of water, just drip, 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 and over
Yes.
time you'll accumulate a pool. So you are
Yeah.
early and you're a newer group. So as you continue through 2026, the goal is to grow and get more Nigerian women connected, and Africa generally really connected to Bitcoin. So
Yes.
in 2026, you're going to continue this. I think you have a spaces coming up on the 4th, I believe, January 4th, in a couple days.
Yes, we have to resume our spaces on the 4th of January, which is this coming Sunday. However, we're going to like hold on for this Sunday. We want to give our people a break. So we're going to resume the next Sunday after the 4th.
Awesome. Uh, your last your last spaces, it was celebrating your journey, building the
Building
future.
the future. Yeah.
looking forward to 2026 and continuing onward. And so, drip by drip by drip, you will grow and increase the community. Because I imagine that um, I've heard it said that people find Bitcoin when they need it, and in some of the larger developed worlds, where like if people use the dollar, the U.S. dollar a lot, I mean, we're all experiencing inflation and the failing of the fiat system. But sometimes when you have like a better currency, you don't feel the need the same, or you trust your currency a bit. But in Africa, there are a lot of nations where their currency has experienced rampant inflation, or the naira, or is it the nairi? The nairi? Um, it's had volatility,
It's
and
yeah,
and
it's the naira.
the naira.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the naira has had its own inflation and volatility. People there are often looking like, well, where if I want to save, if I want to invest, if I want to
yeah.
move money, some people might send money to Nigeria from abroad. How do you do that without horrible fees, or working through banks, having a bank, getting it in and out? All of that is very hard. Bitcoin helps solve a lot of those things for countries in Africa. So perhaps it is in Nigeria that there's a need for Bitcoin much stronger than what um, some folks in the U.S. might feel the same way. Does that does that resonate with you?
Yes, yes, you have said it all. Truly, Bitcoin is actually for those who need it. There was a particular time we were doing a research, and we found out that in the US, people advocate, or most persons advocate for Bitcoin, or use Bitcoin because they want to keep it as a store of value and stack. But when you come to Africa, when you are in Nigeria, the mindset or the mentality is different, because first you are being hit with inflation, and when you have been hit with inflation doesn't want to know whether you want to stack or not. Inflation is after, you have money but you cannot get what you want, because the the price of things keep going high, and then the huge amount of money you have cannot even give you the good life you want. So it's a different case in Nigeria here. And you also spoke about the horrible fees. That is also very true. You see cases in Nigeria here where commercial banks, you're trying to send money to somebody maybe outside the country or even here in Nigeria, and the charges are so, they're not even hidden. They are so much, and you're wondering where your money is going to. But with Bitcoin, you see that it is so transparent. You are able to um you're able to earn, and you're able to spend, you're able to save too, as compared to the Nigerian currency. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I'll just cap it all by saying, with the Nigerian currency, it's this thing where you are walking like an elephant, but you're eating like an ant. Yeah, like it's that
I hear
bad.
you.
Yes, but then Bitcoin gives this light, or gives this hope, where you know that okay, you can walk like an elephant and still eat like an elephant too. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I just admit something like Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the only best sound money out there compared to, yes, there's stable coins. I know a lot of in Africa, they will connect with stable coins because they want to peg to the US dollar. There's other crypto shitcoin stuff out there. What was it for you that helped you land specifically on Bitcoin versus sort of all the other things out there that I know other Africans do use as well?
Okay. Well, I did not actually go through the shit coins and stable coins, and when I started, I just started with Bitcoin.
Uh huh.
And then I had this conviction that Bitcoin gives freedom, and I have experienced this freedom. So I just felt like, what's the need to switch places? So while I started, I just started with Bitcoin, and I just decided to stick stick with Bitcoin, right? Because I have seen that Bitcoin is just like life. because with Bitcoin, you have to experience patience, you have to go through the process, you have to put in the work, you have to show that you are dedicated, you have to show that you want to make impact, you want to help people, you want to give life, good life to humanity, right? And you see that this is not the case with other coins, right? With other coins, they just go into it, and in the next 2 days, you know there's like money everywhere. But like with Bitcoin, you have to be dedicated, you have to take things serious, you have to know that you're not here to play around with people's money or with people's emotions. So when I started out, I just started out as a Bitcoiner, and I'm still here now.
Well, good for you for landing on Bitcoin first and not getting too distracted, because people can see like a lot of that, like whether it's a stable coin or other crypto, it might seem better or faster or more
Mm.
sound, but a lot of that is still quite fiat. What we say is being fiat, where people are looking for just number go up, or oh, it's tethered to the US dollar and the US dollar has problems. Whereas Bitcoin is its own protocol that has a capped supply and a fixed issuance rate and all the things about it that make it work right. So I'm glad you found Bitcoin. um,
Yes, thank you.
and now beyond that too, when I this the group you made, it's Nigeria women's Bitcoiners, Nigeria women Bitcoiners. So for women specifically, not that men can't participate or be part of the conversation, but
Yeah.
very specifically, you're working to connect with women so that women themselves can feel empowered or free financially. How is it? Describe to me how that is important to you specifically for women.
Okay. So, Nigerian women Bitcoiners, you have said it correctly. It's a community that was created for women specifically. But it would
Hmm.
interest you to know that our founder is a man. And most persons are always like, how can your founder be a man, and the community is for women? And I'm like, yes, Bitcoin is for everybody. It doesn't matter who the idea comes to. What matters is how the idea turns into a movement and progresses, and lives are being touched and impact is being made. So our founder is a man, and our co-founder is a woman, right? And the work behind Nigerian Women Bitcoin, now why we decided to focus specifically on women, is because I remember a particular time when I just got into the Bitcoin space, and I was making a research about women in the Bitcoin space, and I discovered that women that in Africa, I don't know about outside Africa, but majorly in Africa, the percentage of women that are unbanked is very, very scary. The numbers are
Uh,
so high. I can't give the actual figure right now, but I think at that time it was in millions of women that they don't have a bank account. And for them not to have bank accounts for them not to have bank accounts, what this means is they are unable to receive money directly to themselves. So there is this form of restriction, to their own money. And for me, I found that very, very, very sad to know. Very
mhm.
sad to know, right? Yes. So I think this was one of the reasons why Nigerian Women Bitcoiners was specific to women alone, because Bitcoin, as we always say, gives financial freedom. Also, it empowers women. It gives, when we say empower, we are saying it gives the empowerment for women to women. So it shows a woman that you can dream. It shows a woman that you can do something for yourself. It shows her that you can make money for yourself, right? And while making this money, you can also learn financial discipline, you can learn financial freedom, you can learn how to invest your money, and you can even dream of having a better future for yourself and attain that future too. So imagine this scenario where there is this woman in a village or in the city and she's unbanked, she doesn't have a bank account, if she wants to get money, she has to, collect from someone. And then you bring the light or the good news of Bitcoin to her, and you explain to her that Bitcoin has come to stay. Bitcoin is going to help you get the freedom you deserve. You can be able to live the life you want to live, and even give that best life to your children too. And before you know, she has started her skill. Maybe, let's say, she has a skill. She knows how to cook really well, because in Africa here most women know how to cook. So she knows how to cook here, and then she starts to cook, and then she accepts Bitcoin as a means of exchange for her cooking. Now you have opened her mindset, and this was one of the things Daniel White spoke about while he taught us during his session last some few months ago. He
Uh-huh.
spoke about the Bitcoin mindset, and he said that before before he became a Bitcoiner, he did not have the Bitcoin mindset. All the monies he was getting, he wanted to just spend it, get this, buy this, squander it, do this. But when he got into the Bitcoin space, when he became a Bitcoiner, he now had a renewing of his mind, and he now had the Bitcoin mindset. He now knew that no, there is a money meant to be saved, there is a money meant to be invested, there's a money meant to be spent too. So you see that this woman now, she's now having a mind shift from the norm people think, or the stereotypical mindset people think women should have, by being under subjection, to now having the Bitcoin mindset. So with that Bitcoin mindset, she now knows that okay, while I'm cooking and accepting Bitcoins, I can save this amount of Bitcoin, I can invest this, and I can bring out this particular amount for myself and my children. So I think this is a driving force for us at NWB, because we help women see the light. We help them know that you can be more than what the society thinks of you. And we also help them see that with Bitcoin, you can be empowered. With Bitcoin, you can be empowered. I remember a particular time around last year when someone asked me a question, and the person was like, "Are you a Bitcoiner?" I said yes. And she was like, "But you're not into tech. You don't code, you don't do software, you don't." And I told her that I feel like, looking at me, you would know I don't even like those kinds of things, because I feel like they are not just me, right? So I'm a non-tech
Mm.
person. And then she was like, "So how do you thrive in the Bitcoin space as a non-tech person?" And I told her, "Come to LWB, you would know there are many opportunities for you as a Bitcoiner in the Bitcoin space. There are so many careers for you to explore. And funnily enough, you don't even have to have a university certificate to explore those career opportunities. You just have to be yourself. You just have to know, the talents, the skills you have, work on it, redefine it, and you are good to go." So it's just like that for us at NWB.
That is absolutely awesome. And that's one thing I love about the group you have is that um, even if it's not just Bitcoin, it's money and education generally as well. And then Bitcoin for many of y'all is going to be the best way to do it, where you might not have like the right ID or the right kind of income or the ability to get a bank account. With Bitcoin, it doesn't matter how much it is or what you're doing or who
Yeah,
you are or what your skills are, um, where you live, you can get on Bitcoin and start using Bitcoin and save your money, move your money, and do what you need to do, even though otherwise you might feel really challenged in being able to navigate a lot of that stuff or have the access. Or
yeah,
there may be situations where um, uh, some some women's situations may be that they have challenges in their lives where um, they're not either maybe allowed to do something or um, it's not expected of them or there's people in their way. They don't want them to have that freedom. And it can be like, no, screw you. I can do what I want anyway because I can do Bitcoin and I don't need a man or a bank
exactly.
or all the things. as a woman independently, you can do what you need to do for you the way you want to do it. And then if you're in a situation where like I need to get out of here, I need to have freedom, independence, I need to move, I need to do my own thing, you can just do that. You don't have to get permission or approval. You can just do it if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you mentioned something about the bank now, and it just reminded me of when we had our space, one of our spaces. I think we titled it um, "The Power of Self Custody, Becoming Your Own Bank." The power of self custody for women, and the subtopic was becoming your own bank. And
Mm.
this is something that most persons do not know. To be very honest, I think in Nigeria and Africa at large, Bitcoin adoption is doing quite well. However, there are still some persons, there are still some women in particular that do not still know that they can be their own bank in 2026 or for as long as they want, right? They don't yet know that. So that space was dedicated to those particular set of women to let them know that you can actually self custody your own money, and you can take account for your money. You can know when your money is from. Okay, like we said, in Nigeria we use naira, so you can know when your money is from 1,000 naira to 900 naira. So you know why your money has reduced to 900 naira. But if you're not being your own bank, you might just wake up the next morning and see that the bank has deducted 50 naira or 100 naira for SMS charges. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and you don't need a husband or your parents or someone else. You can just do it on your own. Do many people do they just use their phone to do a lot of the Bitcoin stuff? Do they use their phone or do they go to a
Yeah.
computer?
Okay, for major persons I know, they use their phones. Well, I
Hmm.
know a few that have a hardware wallet. So, yeah, so it's like a mix. So yeah, most persons use their mobile phones, while others that have the access to hardware wallets, they use hardware wallets.
Cool. That's great. Yeah, taking self custody and not relying on an exchange or I lost my phone. Oh no, like now what? Um, when I was learning a bit about how Nigeria was approaching Bitcoin and crypto generally in their laws, I was reading about how Nigeria had like banned, I think, digital assets generally, and then in 2023, I think the Central Bank of Nigeria lifted a ban on banks using crypto and digital assets, including Bitcoin. They let's see here. You had ISA 2025. It repealed ISA 2007, um, which allowed for digital assets. Although I think it was like you're not supposed to use it for everyday payments, but they do let you trade and hold it. So it's kind of goofy. I don't know how they would regulate that really. But then again, you have a NTAA Section 79, which has capital gains taxes on digital assets, which, as I understand it, are kind of high still, like high capital gains on it all. Now, again, the regulation of all that, how that would play out in Nigeria, if you imagine that, you're getting Bitcoin on your own or you're trading and moving Bitcoin with customers or others. I don't know how all that is regulated, but it sounds like Nigeria is still working on their laws or regulation
Yeah.
around it, but it's still kind of new.
Yeah, we by God's grace, we are expecting the law to be in motion this year. But I
Mm,
think for the past years, just like you said, it has been shaky, right? It has been shaky. I think at some point, it was just for use for security alone. It was stemmed um, for security. Like
yeah.
how in El Salvador, Bitcoin is money. In El Salvador, it can be used as medium of exchange. It can be used as payments, whatever you want. But in
Uh-huh.
Nigeria, it was for security. basis alone, which wasn't, which, to me, it's like yeah, confining Bitcoin, because that is not what it is. Yeah, but for now we are expecting a new law that will be written to favor we Bitcoiners and every other person using Bitcoin.
Yeah, to treat it like a security doesn't reflect its day-to-day use for people and how they need it.
Yeah.
On your last spaces, there was a woman named Mercy, I believe, and she had done some recent advocacy politically. She'd gone down to maybe it was the House, and
Of assembly. Yeah.
she provided testimony to a House committee report on the economic implications and regulation of crypto and point of sale for economic development in Nigeria. And so the hope is maybe this year is that Nigeria changes some laws to enable people to use Bitcoin better. Is that the hope?
Yes, yes, definitely. I would say that was a groundbreaking moment for us, for we as Nigerian Bitcoiners to even be invited to such auspicious meeting that showed that the government was ready or is ready to accept Bitcoin, and also ready to include fully women into the decision making table. So Mercy represented us, and it was a very good one because we were able to air our view, we were able to share our own opinions, we were also able to make our own suggestions too on how we think, you know, the the country economic situation would be better using the implementation of Bitcoin. So it was a very good one for us.
Awesome. And it's great to have members in your group be able to advocate politically. The politics there, and as they are in many places, politics are often dominated by men or people who are connected with banks and may or may not care about Bitcoin other than maintaining power. Do you see that politically there is a solution that you can work with government and make these changes? It's a worthwhile effort to push politically, and that you'll have an effect there. It feels good so far.
Yeah, I would say what's happening now in Nigeria and the political system is like a shift. When let's say we are at ground zero and there's something happening at ground zero, but people are just ignorant or refusing to believe that this is a global movement that is actually changing lives, and then from ground zero, there is this shift to, let's say, ground five, and now eyes are getting open, people are realizing that, oh, this is actually helpful to humanity, this actually works, right? So I would say for Nigeria political system now, eyes are getting opened, everyone is wanting to align with Bitcoin because they have seen that this is actually something that has come to stay. Yeah, so it's
It's
not
not
it's
going
not
away.
it's not an easy one, but regardless, um, the tables are turning in our favor. Yeah.
What's the best way for people to find your group? I know you're active on X, and you have your account on X with your website, which it temporarily down, but it'll be coming back up here, naijabitcoin.org. So they can go
Yeah.
to the X account and find you there. You are on X at Nigeria Women BTC.
Bitcoin.
Is
Yeah.
that a good place for people to go to start connecting with you all?
Yes, yes, this is the best place at the moment. So this X account is more of our X community. We have another community on WhatsApp, which we have over 500 Nigerian, okay, not just Nigerian women, because we have some other women that are not also from Nigeria in our community. But just like I said, Bitcoin is for everybody. So regardless of whether you are a Nigerian or not, you are very welcome. So aside from the WhatsApp community, we have this X account currently, which you can always reach out to us by DM. We have said it so many times on our spaces. Our arms are wide open to accept as many women, are willing to join the Bitcoin space, because we believe that any woman that joins the Bitcoin space, like I said, you might come in, confused about some certain things, but you would leave like LIVE. You would live, an empowered life. You would live a more confident life, because then you know that okay, you can put in ABC work and you'll be getting DEF result, right? Yes. So you can always, any woman willing to join in our community, we call ourselves queens, right? Like I
Queens.
yes,
Yes.
like my own self, I am a queen. So, and then to the rest of the 500 women in the community, they are all queens too. So any queen listening wanting to join our community, our arms are very, very wide open to accept every woman willing to join in the community. So you can just reach out by DM saying hello, I'd like to join NWB, and you would be added immediately. However, we have a form in our community where every woman is needed to fill, so we can know your standpoint in the Bitcoin space, if you are a beginner or you are at the intermediate level or advanced, and then we'd also like to know the skills you have too, so we are sure that we are going to help you right where you need your help.
That's awesome. So you can
Yeah,
find the group on X. You can join and listen in on the spaces. I was able to go back and listen to the spaces myself. And while we've been
that's
talking here,
lovely.
we've had a number of comments rolling in, a number of queens and perhaps a king in here. I'm going to pop them up here so you get to see them here, Angel. Miss Angel, amazing take. So people are loving this right now, Angel. We have Abosede. Well done, Angel. You're getting a lot of kudos here. Um, and then I will add more here. We have thank you for your contribution to the Bitcoin movement, Miss Angel. And Angel is having connectivity issues off and on, but she'll be able to see and join when she can. We got fire going on here. Grace Gbaka says, "Well done, Angel." And Abu Sadi again, uh, basically loving what you're doing here, Angel. Bitcoin is here to stay. Uh, we are queens with a golden crown. So, Angel, I just really appreciate all this. You've got a lot of fan support. And when you get connected back on here, we'll be able to maybe wrap this up with you. When we started this, about an hour before we started the podcast, we were trying to make sure the connection was working and that she had uh, connectivity where she was at, and she had to be outside and walking around a bit in order to have the right kind of streaming connection. So we were having some technical challenges, but I was just very glad to make this work. I will bring back up to stage here the X account. You can go to X, search for the handle Nigeria Women BTC, Bitcoin education, advocacy, skill development, and empowerment for women of Nigerian descent. Empowering women changes nations. They have a website. It's down at the moment, but it's supposed to be back up here. Angel told me it'll be back up when it's fixed, but you can go to naijabitcoin.org, Naija bitcoin.org. Uh, I had to take a look at the map here, and if Angel can't reconnect, I'll do a little closeout summary. Thank you, goodbye here. But if Angel can reconnect, I'll have her back. Angel, can you hear me? Possibly not. Okay, so looking at the map here, what a huge country, hundreds and hundreds of millions of people. Nigeria is here in the Gulf of Guinea, large Gulf. Uh, like I mentioned, 260 plus million people in Nigeria. Covers a large area. It is the sixth most populated country in Africa. And so not just Nigeria, but a whole lot of countries all throughout Africa are in need of sound money, a banking solution, just not being without a bank, being able to transact and take self-empowerment without permission from others, or needing to have family or parents or a spouse, a husband. Um, People can do it on their own. Let me see if I can bring Angel back. She's trying to connect again here. So basically, Bitcoin empowers not just women, but everyone, and not just in Nigeria, not just in Africa, but worldwide. People
Can you hear
worldwide.
me?
You're back. I was just giving a little. I was doing my view
Yeah,
and
I'm so
talk about
sorry. I
Nigeria.
had a network glitch.
Okay, no problem. You're back. I'm glad you're back. I was just showing people the country of Nigeria here, and what a large country it is,
Okay.
and how the entire continent needs banking and money solutions. I was going to show you something. This is not Nigeria, and this is probably one of the worst case scenarios in Africa, but Zimbabwe. This is their. This is a Zimbabwe note. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. It is $500 million. uh, Zimbabwe experienced ridiculous inflation back decades ago, and then again, and then again, and they would they would add zeros to their currency. They'd start over again. They'd rebase it and start again, and the inflation just took off again. So people are getting paid, running to the store to buy stuff, or trying to trade it for dollars, and it was you're always falling behind. You're always like money is just burning a hole in your pocket, and it destroys everything about thinking about like investing or saving or the future. How has the naira been in comparatively? Did the naira feel like you get paid and it's going to lose value soon,
Hmm.
or is
So
it more
I just want
stable?
to confirm. You can hear me now, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I think I knew about the time Zimbabwe experienced hyperinflation, and that was a very sad moment for any Zimbabwean at that time. In Nigeria here, we experienced inflation, but it has not gotten yet to hyperinflation. But what I can say for sure is the money loses value. That is, something everybody can attest to. The money loses value. You go to the market today and you want to are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And it may be that, yeah, on your end, it's not coming through from me very well. Oh, we may have lost her again. The nature of doing this across the planet.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me? Well, it sounds like the naira is not immune from any kind of inflation. I
Can you
mean,
hear
the
me now?
yep, I can hear you. I hope you can hear me.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
maybe just
Okay,
audio's
so
better.
I was saying,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I was saying, in hyperinflation yet, but what I can say for sure is that the Nigerian currency loses value. Like every day it loses value.
Hmm.
When you get money today and then you go to the market, you see that you're unable to use that particular money you have gotten to get all you have listed. Like there was a particular space we held, and one of our community members was telling us about how her mom saved up to, I think, 250,000 naira, and she got to the market and she couldn't even come back a she couldn't come back with a bag, like a full bag of item.
Yeah, I've only heard stories like that where you get paid, and if you wait a day or a month, prices have gone up, and I mean, it's happening here in the United States.
Yeah,
It's been
yes,
slower
yes,
and
exactly.
quieter. Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, even the U.S. dollar is doomed to inflation and monetary debasement. They have to print money to float a system. Africa has not been immune to that, and so when I say that people find Bitcoin oftentimes when they need it, people in Africa often are feeling all the time that they need this solution. And in America and in
Yes,
Europe and elsewhere,
yeah.
we're feeling it too. People are starting to wake up to like, wow, what is inflation? Why is there inflation? They're saying it's 2 or 3%, but it's more than that. But why is it even that? What's you know, we're being told that sometimes, oh, a little inflation's good. Well, it's not helping anyone. So um,
Yes.
let's see. So
Yeah, but we are positive. Can you hear me?
yes, I can.
Okay, okay. I was saying, but we are positive because now we have Bitcoin. So we have something that, beats inflation. We have a solution to inflation. So you see that with the Nigerian currency, if you save your Nigerian currency for a whole year, like 365 days, and you decide to save Bitcoin for a whole year too, you would see that the difference will be so clear, because it could be that your money in the fiat currency, which is naira, might have increased by, let's say, 5 or 10%. But with Bitcoin, the increment is so much more than that. So you see that your naira actually your naira actually faced inflation, because when there is inflation in Nigeria, it affects everybody, affects even your money in the bank. Because most persons would
Hmm.
say, oh no, my money in the bank, so there's nothing happening. But so far it is in the Nigerian currency, so far it is in fiat, it would actually um lose its value too. Yeah. So,
Yeah. And in the States, we can watch the dollar value of Bitcoin, float, or you see volatility, or you see the price go down. But that is a different animal than what inflation is. That's like the trade value on markets and what people will buy and sell it for. But even with volatility there, it's a far cry better than the alternative, which is government or bank issued currency, which is doomed to inflation. So, with time, you've talked about time preference and being patient, staying humble, um, giving it time. As you, at least you can put your value in Bitcoin, and over time, time is on your side. So we could even be very surprised that you stack a little bit and saved it here and there where you can, and then give it a year, give it 4 years, and it could change your life. You could have a much better outcome long term. I will just mention, Angel, you're getting, I started mentioning it when you dropped off before, but you're getting a lot of great comments from friends who have joined in. Abo City uh, says, we are queens with a golden crown. Basically, they're grateful for your presence here today and joining me. Oh, she dropped off again. Well, with that, I think we're having connectivity problems. I'm just super happy and uh, was very excited to have the Nigeria Women Bitcoin group join me today. Spokesperson Angel, she helped start the group. They've only been around for a few months, and they have plans for the future in 2026. They're going to continue their spaces on X. You can go to their X feed. Let me bring that up. So find them on X here. Nigeria Women BTC. You'll be able to get on their website, nijabitcoin.org. Scrolling down their feed here, you can see they have regular spaces. They just had one Sunday. They're going to have another one next Sunday. You can always, if you see them running live, or you can catch up later, you can join their spaces and listen in or participate when they're active. They've got an Instagram account here. They've had friends of mine. Let me add Angel. There she is. People that I know, Robin and Daniel. I know Stacy and Paula, Bitcoin Pilot. You get guests joining to provide education and discussion. And then on your spaces, just whether it's law developments, political developments, education, and discussion around how it's affected and improved people's lives. It's building and maintaining that community of people where they can start to connect, and maybe they just heard about Bitcoin and they're like, okay, well, but I don't understand. Like, maybe I've heard it helps, but what do? I don't know how to start. I don't know what my next step is. Do I need to get a certain piece of software? Can I just do my phone? Do I need to find a computer? How do I take self custody? All the various questions that people are going to have is can be answered by this group. So not just for women, not just for people in Nigeria, it could be anyone in Africa. It was created to empower and educate women. So it's just all very awesome. And Angel, before we wrap this up, we're at about over 50 minutes here. I want to
Yeah.
make sure I haven't missed anything. As long as you can hear me, is there anything that you would like to talk about before we wrap up?
Okay. While you were speaking, you can hear me,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Please, I apologize for the background noise. While you were speaking, you were saying something about newbies and persons curious about the Bitcoin space. How can they join? How do they become Bitcoiners? What do they need to know about Bitcoin? And I just wanted
Yes.
to add that we recently concluded our first cohort in September. That was the cohorts Daniel White and Robin said.
Yeah.
So we had this 3 month class for women where we taught them for 3 months about Bitcoin. So we first started 1 month each for one level. We had the beginners level, we had the intermediate, and we had the advanced level. And usually you see cases where Bitcoin education programs are just taught at the beginners level alone. So they just tell you, oh, what is Bitcoin, how to save in Bitcoin, how to earn in Bitcoin, and it ends there. But with us at Nigeria Women Bitcoiners, we went a step further, went to the intermediate level. We had the likes of Jump Out Girls, with Fatima representing Jump Out Girls. She taught on how to navigate your way in the Bitcoin space as a woman. And then we also had really amazing topics, even from we also taught on Bitcoin mining too, which was taught to the women during the advanced level. And we just discovered that these women were learning each and every class that was being held. Knowledge was being shared, and opportunities was being shared too, and a new outlook to life was being seen too. Yeah. So for any woman listening, any smart woman listening that would soon become a queen in our community, wanting to join the Bitcoin space, you can always join our cohorts. We'll be having another cohort very soon this year. The first cohorts are working on a Bitcoin project, which we will be sharing, or will be going public very soon once it is done and finalized with. So they can always join the second cohort and learn for 3 months comprehensively, about Bitcoin. So that when you are coming in the first month, you might not really know about Bitcoin, you might not really know how to navigate your way, but in the third month, you will be living as a certified Bitcoiner that is ready to also make impact and be relevant in the space too. Yes. So, but meanwhile, before the cohort starts, you can still join the spaces every Sunday. You can still join the community. In the community itself, we have content which we share every time, every now and then. Bitcoin educational content which you can learn from. We have Wednesday orange lessons. We have motivational Mondays. So this is just tips. We just share these micro tips to just keep the women in the community still Bitcoin conscious. Yes.
That's awesome. So how do they join one of the cohorts? Can they do that through the X Spaces, or do they go to your website?
Okay, yeah, like I said, the second cohort hasn't started yet. So once the cohort is about to start, we would always make publications across our social media pages. So they can
Okay.
always join in from there. Or they can you could see the notification if you are also in the community too.
Okay. So catch them
Yes.
on X, listen to the spaces. Abu Sadi says that's why Bitcoin is here to save us from inflation. So a lot of people really understand this, and this message resonates with them. Um,
Yeah.
Angel, thank you so much for joining me. Before we wrap this up, is there anything that you would like to share with us, or something that I haven't touched upon?
Okay. I would like to first say, I think while you were saying or speaking on the comments, I wasn't there, but I think I saw some names, and I would like to give a big shout out to them because they are my queens from our community. So
Yes.
it's a very lovely one to see. Like you can also see that in NWB we support each other. So assuming I was here alone, that would have been so bad. But they had to create time from their busy schedule to come on here and support, our initiative. And that for me is a very, very good one. Thank you so much to every queen that joined. I saw Abbas Shede, which is Joy, and I saw Grace too. Thank you so much, Queen Grace. Thank you, Queen Joy. Okay, so
Joy.
now we are wrapping up. What I would like to say, okay, I would like to say, okay, can you want to say something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. So, yeah, I was saying what I like to say. I believe I am about to say now. I'll be saying this on behalf of our founder and co-founder, and I'm sure they would also want to say this too. Bitcoin is for everybody. Everyone needs Bitcoin. However, Bitcoin is very
I hope we didn't lose you. Oh, I hear you again. Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me?
Yes, now I can. You said Bitcoin is for everybody, and you're about to make a great point. Abu Sede says that she participated in the
Can you
class
hear
and it was
me?
amazing. I can hear you, yes. Can you hear me? Oh, she dropped off. No. Well, this is the nature of trying to make this work across continents. Um, if she can join in again, she will. But uh, Angel was saying some amazing things about basically Bitcoin is for everybody. It doesn't matter what your background is, what level of knowledge or experience you have, how much you think you can save at all. It might be very, very small, but it's simply the drop, 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 little drops at a time over time. And then before you know it, you just keep plugging away at it. And over time, you build up a large pool. Even small drops of water can drill a hole through stone. So, Angel, are you back? Can you hear me again? If you can hear me,
Can you hear me now?
yes, I can.
Yes, yes, I can. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
yeah. You were just making a great point about how Bitcoin is for everybody. So go ahead. Well, if you can hear me, I will just say interrupt if you need to, and you can make any point you want to do to wrap this up. Otherwise, what I'll probably do here is wrap this up. We'll have to try to do this again sometime. Someday, if I can get to Nigeria, I will come visit your conference. You're going to be planning for a conference in 2026, and it'll be a very Nigerian style oriented conference for people of all ages, all experiences, all backgrounds. That's another thing I wanted to mention is that you can join the Nigeria Women Bitcoiners group regardless of your background or experience level. You might be very new to Bitcoin, or you might feel like you know a lot. I will tell you, even after years of learning and studying Bitcoin, I'll feel like, yeah, I know a lot about Bitcoin. And then the more I learn, the more I also find out that I don't know. So it's a constant journey. You're always learning. And simply by continuing to pay attention and continuing to participate, you have more and more and more to learn, and you just get better as a Bitcoiner. So anyway, Angel has dropped out. I think we'll wrap it up here. I'm glad we were able to connect there at least for a good little bit there. At first, when this started, I was going, uh-oh, this may not work at all because we were having trouble. But I'm glad that she was able to connect for a while in there and make it work. So we had a good conversation. Again, I'll just throw this back up here. This is their Instagram. You can see speakers they have had. They have a X account with spaces. You can go to Nigeria Women BTC. Follow them there. They have a website, Naija Bitcoin, Naija Bitcoin.org. You can go to that website. It is currently down at the moment, but it'll be getting fixed. That will be back up online. You can check out their spaces. They do spaces on Sundays. You can check out their cohort. See when if you want to join a cohort of theirs, they do education. They have speakers, and they have beginner, intermediate, and advanced groups to learn more about Bitcoin. So Abosedi said that she participated in the class and it was amazing. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. I'm going to wrap this up. I will end it with two of my co-founders, Daniel and Robin, spoke for the Nigeria Women Bitcoin group and did some education there. And they are co-founders with me on MicroSeed. I will wrap this up with a fun little promo ad for MicroSeed. For those of you who take self-custody, I say, I don't care what you do, how you do it. You can stamp it on steel. If you could stamp it on washers, you can put your seed phrase on washers. MicroSeed happens to be this jig here that you can do that very easily with. But I would say whatever works for you, just do it. You may have it on paper, something like this. And then you're like, okay, now what? You don't want to lose that. It could blow in the wind. So you want to stamp it on steel if you can, so that if there's a flood or a fire or all kinds of anything, your seed phrase is secure. However you can do that, just make sure it's very safe and secure. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining, everybody. Sorry that Angel had connectivity issues, but we made it work and it's all good. So we will catch you next time. Thanks, everybody. As a Bitcoiner, you know that taking self-custody is critically important. But if you've ever had a seed phrase, you've probably had it written down on something kind of like this. You can hide it or secure it, but paper burns, paper fades, paper gets wet, paper rots, paper blows in the wind. Paper has things written on it that might look important. So get off paper and get yourself a MicroSeed at microseed.io. Get the kit and crank out all the keys you'll ever need forever.